My name is Brittany Urbanak, and I chose to do my presentation on on-site daycares in large businesses. I chose to do my presentation on how on-site daycares would be beneficial aspects to large companies. This directly affects me due to the fact that I myself have a 19-month-old daughter and am currently just over 5 months pregnant with a little boy. So in just a few short months, I will be a mother of 2 small children, and I work full-time. This can cause a great deal of stress when trying to find trustworthy daycares and babysitters. Especially with having 2 small children, finding available slots is extremely difficult. In my presentation, I will cover what the benefits of having an on-site daycare in a large business would be, the drawbacks of having an on-site daycare in a large business, as well as the costs and implementation. The main points of my presentation will be the benefits of having an on-site daycare, the drawbacks of having an on-site daycare, and the costs and implementation. The benefits of having an on-site daycare would be having better employee attendance. Having an on-site daycare would increase attendance because a lot of people use the excuse of not having childcare, or their babysitters being sick, or their daycare being closed unexpectedly, or just not being able to find someone to watch them on certain days or at certain times. This excuse would no longer be able to be used. And for the people who truly do have a hard time finding age-approved spots for their children, because especially if you have 2 small children, or even 1 small child, under especially the age of 2, spots are very minimal for these children due to the staffing. You have to have more staff per child for smaller children. And this can be very beneficial for people who have a difficult time affording daycare as well. This would also eliminate those issues and would increase attendance, as well as your employees being less stressed out, so work performance would also increase. This goes hand in hand with the employee morale. If your employees are less stressed about the financial aspect or finding available daycare openings, their morale will increase, and they will have better motivation to do a better job and be more focused on their work rather than where their kids are, who they're with, and the safety and well-being of their children. And they'll also have a lot better motivation to do their job that much better. This will actually help the company out greatly. Your turnover rate will also decrease because they will value more aspects of their job and their employer, other than just the pay, and will be more appreciative of their employer. When another job opportunity may arise with better pay, they will also take into account the extra benefits they're receiving at their current employer and the luxury and benefits of having an on-site daycare, as well as the costs that it eliminates. So all in all, when they get a job offer from someone who has from an employer who is offering more pay, it really might not be more pay if they have to go somewhere else to find daycare and take that into account. It might actually end up being less pay, but it looks better because the numbers look good just up front, but you have to really take it and break it down. So they'll be saving a great deal of money having an on-site daycare, even if they are receiving a little less pay than some of the more competitive employers. The drawbacks of having an on-site daycare would include the cost of the staff, the cost of the space, the cost of food and toy storage, and the cost of any extra training that the employees may need or you'd want them to have. The average employer of a daycare center gets paid approximately $10 per hour, depending on the state where you're located and the experience, however. You need approximately one staff member for every 6 kids. 3 of them can only be under the age of 7. Depending on their ages, you may need more or less staff, depending on the age range and number of children. As far as space goes, the cost of that can be incredibly variable. It can be extremely expensive or it can be extremely cheap. You have to expand, you may have to expand to create extra space or rent more space. This would make it become a lot more expensive. However, if you only have to, if you already have the extra space and you just have to, rearrange it or whatever, this would be the cheapest way because you would really not have to put a lot of money into creating extra space. You're going to have to invest some money into some startup costs for shelving, for toys and toy boxes, as well for places to store and prepare food. Having parents send meals can help make costs in the food area much more manageable. I, however, feel these startup costs are significant, but cost much less to continue to maintain. On average, extra childcare classes cost about $40 per class per person. The most important class and only one you absolutely are required to upkeep is a CPR class. You only have to take that every 2 years to recertify. The expenses can seem high and very overwhelming, but many, if not all, can be used as tax write-offs as well, which is very beneficial. For cost and implementation, I covered a lot of this in the last section, but just to recap, it is important to get estimates to find and create a legal and certifiable space for your on-site daycare. Depending on what you are working with, this could indeed become quite costly. Other than possibly building on-site daycares from scratch, the second most expensive cost I would say would be the staff. You'll have to pay probably 4 to 10 daycare staff on top of your business staff, depending on how many people you have in your business and how many children they each have. All the people you hire to work in the daycare should already be certified caregivers to work in a daycare. You need to at least pay to have them renew their CPR certification, but you could offer as much or as little continuing education as you wanted, and the business budget would allow you. Other costs you could be looking at could be food if you don't require parents to send meals, any advertisement, office supplies, and extra utilities. To conclude my presentation, I just want to point out how extreme the startup costs and even the costs to run the on-site daycare can be. But even with all that, I still strongly believe that the benefits outweigh the costs and drawbacks. In the end, I feel you obtain more quality employees who enjoy their job and the company they work for, and decrease your turnover rate significantly. I wish more businesses would take on-site daycares into consideration, especially in this day and age where single mothers or fathers and homes with both parents working full-time to support a household are on the rise. At this point, I would like to answer any questions you may have and hear any comments you may also have. Thank you.